In this video, we are focusing on factorising expressions. Factorising is the opposite procedure to expanding. It allows us to simplify expressions and solve harder maths problems. Because 3 bracket 2x plus 5 bracket expands to 6x plus 15, this makes the factorised form 3 bracket 2x plus 5 bracket. The aim in factorising is to write expressions as the product of 2 or more factors, just like we can factorise 30 and write 30 equals 2 times 3 times 5. To factorise an expression, first take the highest common factor of the term outside the brackets and divide each term by leaving the result in the brackets. So for this one here, we have 10x plus 15. What we need to do is find the highest common factor for 10 and 15, and we've discovered it's 5. So we do 5 bracket, bracket, and leave a gap in the middle. And now what we have to do is think, okay, what do I have to do to 5 to get 10x? 5 times 2x equals 10x. What do I have to do to 5 to get to 15y? I have to go 5 times 3y equals 15y. Because it's a positive, there's no negatives here, this symbol in the middle here will be a positive. So what we have on the outside is the highest common factor. What we figure out goes on the inside should multiply to get this and should multiply to get this. Let's now take a look at some questions. Question 1 here says 2y plus 4. The first thing I need to do is find the highest common factor of both 2 and 4. And that number is 2 because it goes into 2 once and to 4 twice. So I take that number, I place it in the beginning in front of the brackets and just open some brackets and leave it like that. So once you get the highest common factor, place it in front of the first bracket, leave a space, then close the bracket, and now you're going to figure out what goes inside. So you've got to ask yourself, what do I have to do to 2 to get an answer of 2y? I have to multiply it by y. Now I don't write 1y, I just write the pronumeral on its own. We never put a 1 in front of a pronumeral. And now I think, what do I have to do to 2 to get to 4? I have to multiply it by positive 2. So what you need to ask yourself with questions like this is, take this highest common factor, figure out what you need to do to get to this, and then place the answer in here. The same thing goes with this one here. What have I got to do to 2 to get to a positive 4? And you place the answer in here. Now, remember, this is owned. This symbol here, this addition symbol, is owned by the 4. So you must consider that when you are doing the multiplication, when you're multiplying what gives you this answer. So because it's a positive 2, I must put plus 2 there. So the answer is 2 bracket y plus 2 bracket. The middle one here, we're going to follow the same process. We're now going to add a pronumeral on the second term here. So I've got to ask myself, what is the highest common factor that goes into 18 and also goes into 12? Well, I know it's 6 because 6 goes into 18 3 times and goes into 12 twice. So I go highest common factor of 6 on the outside, open the bracket, leave a gap, close the bracket. I now ask myself, what do I have to do to 6 to get to 18? Well, I have to multiply it by 3. Now what do I do to 6 to get to 12p? I have to multiply it by 2p. Now we're not finished yet. 6 multiplied by a negative term must give you a negative answer because a positive and a negative leaves it as a negative. So the answer is a negative. So 6 multiplied by negative 2p will give an answer of negative 12p. So the answer here is 6 bracket 3 minus 2p bracket. And the last one we have here has quite a few pronumerals this time, and it has a common pronumeral of a. So first of all, we'll go and find the highest common factor, and then we'll look at these pronumerals. So what number goes into 12 and to 30 evenly? It's actually 6. So I'm going to put a 6, a bracket, a space and a bracket. Before I proceed, because there is an A and an A on both sides, when we have a common pronumeral, you must give that to the factor on the outside. So now our highest common factor becomes 6A. Now we proceed as we normally would do. What do I have to do to 6A? To get to 12A, I have to multiply it by 2. So 6A multiplied by 2 gives me an answer of 12A. And the last one here is, what do I have to do to 6A to get to 30AB? I have to multiply it by 5, because 6 times 5 is 30. Now, I have already got an A here, so I don't need to write another one, but simply the B will drop down. And because it's two positive numbers being multiplied, is a positive answer. So 6A multiplied by positive 5B will give you an answer of 30AB.